let Twitch figure that out. Cool. Let's see. Well, let me refresh that because it's doing some stuff and some things too. Alright, cool. Looks good. Let's see here. You know, I kind of like Terry Funk and Chiang. So I'm going to hit that button. We're going to do the social media thing and get on with the program. Let's see here. Out of that, and let's drop this here. And one more thing to do. Done that. And now, you can actually watch the wrestling match. I picked this matchup in the list of potential pre-show matchups because I think it would be very funny to see Terry Funk. Ooh, Terry Funk with a patented spinning toe hold. It would be very funny to see Terry Funk go up against literally anyone from the Def Jam family of video games. And knowing what I know about Terry Funk and both his career as a wrestler and like him as a man, he would be all for it. I know very famously in one of his books, he'd done a bit of business in pro wrestling with, what is it, with the Insane Clown Posse. And, you know, years later, he'd said the Insane Clown Posse were his favorite band, despite never having listened to one of their records, because they were just such professionals in the wrestling business, which is Kind of a sweet thing to say, honestly. Terry Funk, by all accounts, pretty good dude. Which, hey, there's not enough of that in wrestling. Another sunset flip power bomb, but not quite enough. God, these two just beating the hell out of each other, and we're only 10 minutes into this match. I'm gonna be honest, I thought the Funker was about to do a dive. Instead, he's about to pile drive Chiang onto the floor. Funker getting fired up. That's gotta be it. No, Chiang's still hanging on. I don't know how he does it. Well, Chiang's sturdy's not the right word, but survivable motherfucker. And the crowd absolutely losing it. That's, this Terry Funk and Chiang match. I'm going to be curious what the in-game evaluation says after the show. Because the crowd's been pretty hyped up the whole time. And he's been going for that sunset flip powerbomb so very much. Yep. It's about what I expected. %, overall evaluation. I knew it was going to be high just listening to the crowd. But of course, Big Dave, real stingy with those, with that last quarter star. Yep, only 4 3/4 from Big Dave. But, of course, Terry Funk, the professional that he is, making that match go exactly as long as it was supposed to, and not a moment further, because it is very nearly 7:30, which means it is damn near time to get another episode of Blake's House Wrestling started. So, give people a few more moments to file into Blake's House Arena, and then once again, as we do every Sunday night, have everybody get on your feet, make some noise for another edition of Blake's House Professional Wrestling. Welcome, Blake's House Wrestling fans, to another edition of Blake's House Professional Wrestling. If you somehow missed last week, the culmination of a several-month-long journey took place as Sean Satchwell, the swashbuckler from Judgment Professional Wrestling, has punched his ticket to a Blake's House Wrestling Heavyweight Championship opportunity. Took Terrell on one-on-one in a number one contenders match, and it was a test to see who was more hungry, who was more determined, who wanted it more. Of course, Terrell's drive cannot be ignored. He is the man that fought week in and week out in Battle Royal after Battle Royal until he earned his shot. He has been a Blake's House Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. Satchwell, however, he's the man that never was. He has always been just one step away from glory. One step away from his championship. Well, tonight last week he has earned himself one more chance after beating Terrell in a number one contenders match. That championship match, it will not be taking place tonight, but I feel we could not talk about last week's program without discussing the heroic achievement of Sean the Swashbuckler Satchwell. Of course, that is not all we saw last week. And last week, we had a special exhibition, the return of Orlando Nunes, going head-to-head with the Cyborg, somebody that we have not seen in quite some time. And Nunes shocking the world with a knockout victory with that RK Orlando Nunes. Well, I suppose if we're talking special exhibitions, that is a good a time as any to elaborate on tonight's main event. Of course, we are honoring the dads of Blake's House Professional Wrestling. Terrell Benjamin going to be taking on PJ, King of Dads. Terrell unable to secure a championship opportunity, but going head-to-head with one of the elite enforcers of Team Lake Mary in a special exhibition. Certainly an opportunity for him to pick up the pieces after that tough loss last week. But, of course, PJ representing Team Lake Mary, looking to show force to Satchwell, to anyone coming after Josh Kaiser's title. Wow. In addition to talking about the threads that have been running for the past several months, the tag team division has been positively hectic, but one team has kind of made their mark in Blake's House Professional Wrestling. Jim Jack and Rip Studley besting Dan Remington and Dick Bruiser last week, earning themselves a championship opportunity of their own. They're going to be going head-to-head with Antonio and Drew tonight. If they win tonight, they get to call their shot. They get to decide which tag team championship they want to challenge for. Nobody could have expected this team to do as well as they have in the short time they have been teaming together. But here we are, just one win away from calling their shot. Of course, on the subject of tag teams, one of those tag team champions that they could potentially be challenging for, Idolo and Ramos. Idolo going to be in singles action tonight. Wants to remind you, everyone at home, everyone in the Blake's House locker room, just how dominant a performer he is. And he is going to be going head-to-head with Mr. 5-Star himself, Jason Solarion, a man with a chip on his shoulder. We will see if he has bitten off more than he can chew in Idolo tonight. Let us see here. Additionally, this evening, a couple classic rivalries going to be getting some time in the ring together. Of course, you can see the opening contest of tonight's program. Cinderella Princler taking on Kuraga himself in a one-on-one contest. Of course, if you've been tuning into our Wednesday night streams, you have seen a great deal of this in the last year. Well, now these two going to meet head-to-head in a wrestling ring. But on the subject of longtime Blake's House rivalries, there are none more storied than Blake Havis and Sterling Thomas, and we're going to be seeing them go head-to-head tonight. We are not going to make you wait for pay-per-view. We are putting this right here on twitch.tv/Ferricindy, but we have got a lot more show for you on top of that this evening. But let's not waste any time here. Get into our first match. Cinderella Princler, Eric Kuraga Alpizar. That match, it's right now. Cindy taking some tough losses 2 weeks in a row. This is a must-win match for her, but standing across the ring, the first ever Shoot Division Championship. Hold on just a moment here. I have, pardon me, as that is the MMA version of Alpizar, it would appear. Let's see here. There we go. Well, as they say in the business of professional wrestling, take two as Cinderella Princler takes on Eric Alpizar. And that match is right now. Cinderella Princler taking some tough losses in the last 2 weeks. Both to Red Max competitors in Red Max versus the World and a special exhibition last week. This is a must-win match for her. But standing across the ring, the first ever Mixed Martial Arts Division champion, a former Trios champion, a man that is incredibly effective as a professional wrestler, as a combat sports practitioner. It is going to be a mountain to climb for Cinderella here tonight, but we'll have to see exactly. Alpizar already coming out swinging. Cindy answering back. Both of these competitors jockeying for position a little bit. Alpizar trying to create some space, utilize those legs. Full extension means full damage, but Cindy walking him down a little bit, trying to just take that tool out of his arsenal. Ordinarily, when you've got that height and reach advantage, you want to use it, but it is so dangerous being at the max range of those kicks, and I think Cindy knows it. But Alpizar trying to create space, Cindy answering back, drop toe hold. And Eric going for an early cover, not even a count of one, but testing the waters here. And the educated feet of Eric Alpizar on display, already burying a knee right into the stomach of the Princess of Blake's House. Another drop toe hold. Cindy just trying to slow Alpizar down, but Alpizar, he is somebody that is going to run his game plan no matter what. He is a man that is difficult to frustrate, difficult to get into his head. And right now, just those educated feet being put to good use here. Mount tackle applied. And just right into a series of wild shots to the forehead. And there are those devastating kicks of Eric Alpizar. Cindy trying to answer back with forearm smashes, but unable to do enough damage. Another 1-2 combination. Cindy dropping a big bomb of an elbow, but Alpizar right back up like he is the Terminator. Low roundhouse taking the legs out from underneath the legs of Cinderella here, but right back to her feet. Fired into the corner turnbuckle, and Alpizar fighting his way back out. Going right to that knee bar again. Alpizar so difficult to frustrate, so difficult to knock off his game. And he is demonstrating that very effectively here tonight. Drop toe hold, this time right into that bottom turnbuckle pad. But Alpizar getting back to his feet, scrambling back to his feet, not allowing Cindy to continue. Hold on. Reversal of fortune here, but no, Alpizar just springing out of that corner. Shining Enziguri, but Alpizar fighting his way back to his feet again. And just going back to basics. Knee to the gut, knee to the gut. Side kick to the ribs, just trying to take the wind away from Cinderella here. And colossal STO, Alpizar just pouring it on, and a stomp to the shoulder. Cindy testing the waters with a cover of her own, gets a count of 1, and another vicious shot to the ribs. Basement dropkick, taking the legs out from underneath the legs of Cindy, and now just stretching out the neck. You can see the arm is trapped here. It's going to be very difficult to get out of this hold, but no, Alpizar didn't have it fully locked in. Cindy able to slip out. Cindy once again testing the waters for the cover, but only getting 1. Mount tackle again, but hold on. This time Cindy answering back. Triangle hold. That is a dangerous place to be against a catch-as-catch-can specialist. As any mistake, oh my god, tornado kick to the back of the head. And Alpizar just on fire. Not electing to go for the cover just yet. Taking a moment to pose for the crowd. Roll up 1, 2. It's how Cindy lost last week, but no. Barely able to get a shoulder off the mat. Alpizar again protecting himself from those strikes. That martial arts background paying dividends here. STO once again, but Alpizar taking a moment to breathe. Trying to figure out exactly what's next, but Cindy getting an opportunity to lay in some forearm smashes, but Alpizar answering back. Big Enziguri. And this time, Cindy getting the best out of that exchange. Going for a soul butt kick, but Alpizar beating her to the punch off the ropes, and leg lariat right into those ribs he's been targeting all night. Hold on. Storybook ending. Is that going to close it out? Cover 2. Only getting 2. Crushing blow from Alpizar, and tornado kick once again. Alpizar again just taking a moment to breathe. Another devastating Enziguri. Cindy's not done. Leaping elbow drop across the throat. And crushing DDT. Cindy possibly going for that. No. Elects to take a different route. Cross chop to the back of the head. You know she wants that blockbuster, but possibly a little bit too far from that corner turnbuckle. Going high risk this time here. Big diving elbow buried into the lower back of Alpizar. Cindy able to slip that drop kick. But Alpizar just right back to delivering that punishment. Vicious series of forearm smashes and another one for good measure. And Cindy not done yet. Going for that mount tackle once again, but escapes that, but unable to avoid that devastating striking combination. That has got to be it. 3 count fall. Eric Alpizar, a man with such a simple game plan, but simple does not mean ineffective. Those strikes are positively deadly, and if you cannot avoid the significant strikes, you are as good as finished. And that is exactly what we saw here tonight. Those knees to the gut and those just big side kicks to the ribs. Taking the wind out of Cindy, creating an opportunity for that big mock kick right into the side of the head that shut her down. But let's go ahead and keep this show rolling here, as we've got another Inter Blake's House matchup. As right now, Jordan taking on Mr. Space Jam himself, Hsien-Jo, in some one-on-one action, and could be a bit of a preview of things to come. Team Lake Mary absolutely dominant in recent months. That Dark Hour unit, captained by Jamie Holloway, not quite as effective as a stable as she possibly would have hoped, but taking down Team Lake Mary bit by bit, certainly a quick path to notoriety. And right now, Hsien-Jo has an opportunity to start that process this evening. So he takes on Jordan, and that match, it's right now. Jordan making his way to the ring. One of the members of that illustrious Team Lake Mary, that unit that has been so incredibly effective. Josh Kaiser has held on to that Blake's House title with a vice-like grip. Although that could all fall apart in the very immediate future. Satchwell, an extremely legitimate threat, but right now, Satchwell is not Jordan's concern, as the mountain of a man in front of him, Hsien-Jo, an extremely dangerous opponent, and already Hsien-Jo firing Jordan into that corner turnbuckle, possibly looking for that Space Jam early. And Jamel is not someone that you can afford a lapse in concentration against, as this man is all power. Of course, we are one match removed from that Cinderella and Alpizar contest, and Jordan very much from that same school of thought. Just truly dangerous striking ability, but a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more just holds and locks, a little bit more throws in his arsenal. But those strikes are extremely significant and need to be watched out for. Hold on, back switch, and Hsien-Jo having absolutely nothing to do with it. Goes for it once again, and Hsien-Jo saying absolutely not. And a colossal headbutt. And now turnabout is fair play. Crossface chicken wing for crossface chicken wing, but Jordan able to slip out of one of his own signature holds. And hold on. Oh my God, is he going for it? What the hell? Poison Rana off the top. Hsien-Jo is a monster. And the crowd absolutely losing their minds. Going for the cover. 2. Only gets 2. On lift and crushing blow as Jordan slammed to the mat. And this is exactly what Jordan cannot afford in this contest. Those slams positively devastating. And Hsien-Jo just having nothing to do with Jordan here, but step of Insagiri. Jordan going back to basics, going back to what works for him. And Jamel answering back with another crushing blow. Cover 2. Count 2. Said Jordan back to basics, swinging neckbreaker, and again Jamel just having nothing to do with that, not allowing Jordan to take his back. And picture perfect power slam cover, and only gets 2. And Jordan going to that patented bear hug, that maneuver that has crushed the backs of so many members of that Blake's House locker room. Amateur chiropractor Jordan, and now crossface chicken wing applied, trying to take the wind away from Hsien-Jo. Rana, and no, into that triangle hold. Just grabbing a hold anywhere that he can. And Hsien-Jo, he is having nothing to do with it. Powerbomb once, twice, and 3 times. Stacks him up. 2. And oh my God, so close. Jordan somehow, some way, getting a shoulder off the mat, and there are those devastating strikes that Jordan is so well known for. Hooks the leg, cover, 2, count 2. Hsien-Jo answering back, Emerald Flosion, but needs a moment to breathe. Jordan out on his feet, able to slow down Jamel's offense at least for another moment. Big double stomp, crushing the lower back. You can see that back brace on Hsien-Jo, and leaping facebuster guillotine across the neck. Jordan is on fire right now. And sliding forearm smash. And once again going right back to it, but Hsien-Jo right back to his feet as if it never hit him. Well, if you cut them, they keep fighting. Well, you just got to keep cutting them. And Hsien-Jo standing tall, all alone in the Blake's House ring. Both men taking a moment to breathe, figuring out what the next course of action, what the next avenue of attack is. And Hsien-Jo sending Jordan into the corner. This could be everything. Hold on. Muscle Buster. Hsien-Jo cover. 2. No, it's not enough. Jordan finding that inner strength, able to escape the pressure, and this match will continue. Colossal headbutt, and Jordan fighting his way back to his feet. He knows just how dangerous Hsien-Jo is with momentum, and he is not allowing him to keep it. Both of these men somehow finding a second win, somehow finding that reserve of fighting spirit, but a diving knee drop might be the answer back Jordan needs. No, Jamel fighting even from the ground. Both of these men just at war with one another. Screwdriver crushes Jordan, but Jordan now scrambles back to his feet. And a second screwdriver for good measure. This time, JBIII to his feet first. If he can cover him, that's got to be it. 2, 3, count, fall. And that Dark Hour unit, the first shot across the bow, as it were, to Team Lake Mary. And how you doing, Nick? How you doing, Steve? Appreciate y'all coming in. And so here is the situation. It's exactly as smooth as usual because Twitch is being extremely shitty. It is not an internet problem, but when I am streaming, Twitch just runs like shit, and it's extremely frustrating to deal with. But I don't have an answer for it. I'll have to check and see if OBS got an update, and see if like there's anything literally anything I can do, because nothing has changed on my end. But for the last like 2 months or so, my upload to Twitch specifically has been garbage. It's very irritating. And yeah, Steve, to answer your question is, so originally when I started this show, I was kind of the like, hey, I don't want to be the promoter that books myself to win matches because that like feels shitty. So I've kind of just like hang out on the mid card. Might do some more stuff with my character in the not too distant future. You know, one would think that would improve things, but in my experience, no, that generally makes things worse. As far as I'm aware, the Peacock deal has been fantastic financially for WWE, but has been absolutely miserable for people that want to watch WWE programming. So, yeah, in my experience, throwing money at the problem, generally the opposite of helpful. Or throwing shitty capitalists at the problem is the opposite of helpful, certainly. But yeah, I don't know, maybe at some point my character will win matches. That'd be rad. Yeah, that is kind of my understanding of how that worked out, is kind of that it didn't. Yeah, the opener was myself versus Eric Alpizar. Eric won. It was actually a pretty solid match. Eric kind of dominated most of the match, but you know, got a pretty good hope spot in the like 3/4 mark of the match. And then you came in partway through Jordan versus JBIII, which was the second match. Yeah, I figured, like, hey, there were some matchups that we can kind of play on with real people. Of, hey, I've been playing video games with Eric for over 10 years. We should probably wrestle at some point. And a little later on tonight, it's going to be Blake going head-to-head with Sterling, and that is possibly the greatest rivalry in the history of Blake's house.
And actually, you know what? We're still going to run that match this week, but I think we're going to make that one into a series. But tonight's main event, it's going to be honoring the fathers of Blake's house. Terrell Benjamin going to be taking on PJ King of Dads in a special exhibition. And probably the other notable match tonight is Jim Jack and Rip Studley taking on Drew and Antonio. If they win tonight, they get to pick which tag team championship they challenge for. So that is kind of where we are at on that one. But speaking of the tag team division, another team just hungry for another shot at that Chop Shop tag team title. Robert Walsh and John Newton going to be taking on this Monty and Bookoo fighter unit. Another team of real shooters that definitely would make a name for themselves in that Chop Shop Tornado tag division. But they have got a long way to go if they want to take on... excuse me. If they want to take on Babyman and Bartholomew. But winning gets you one step closer to championship gold, so we'll have to see John Newton, Robert Walsh, Monty the Bookoo fighter, and that match. It's next. Robert Walsh, John Newton picking up a win last week against that upstart unit of Yuri and Sarah, but this team is going to test them. Monty certainly inexperienced in the avenue of singles wrestling, but as a tag team with his mentor, the Bookoo fighter, in his corner, a very real threat. A truly dangerous competitor in the field of acrobatics and athletics. But right now, John Newton having nothing to do with that. He is just putting fist to face, and hold on. Monty getting a little bit cheeky himself here, sending Newton to the outside. And using that size advantage, using that weight and momentum advantage, just to push Newton around. But Newton utilizing leverage, able to overpower Monty, and those barn door left hands just clubbing blows. And a quick tag. Monty hitting the ring, and a toe kick, or Bookoo fighter hitting the ring, excuse me, a toe kick shutting him down. Elbow to the back of the head. And now bringing in the one, the only Robert Walsh. Sizing up, hold on. A bit of teamwork from the apron as Newton just providing a distraction and ringing the Bookoo fighter's throat up against that top rope. And just wild shots. Both of these men are brawlers. Two men that are so very dangerous. Big Japanese style arm drag. Bookoo fighter, no stranger to a brawl. He has gone toe-to-toe with Dick Boss himself time and time again. The men standing across the ring from him might be just as tough, might be just as ferocious. Big capo kick, but sidestepped, and saw Walsh looking to get extracurricular with the Bookoo fighter here, but Monty says, I am your opponent, and that shotgun dropkick is the exclamation mark on that statement. Hold on, rolling through, cover, but not even a count of one. Capo kick once again, sidestepped, and Walsh getting back to his own corner, and some tandem offense is shut down by a series of toe kicks. And getting into a striking contest with either member of this team. Hold on, 630 off the top rope, and Monty is on fire. Shotgun drop kick once again with the exclamation mark, and those barn door right hands, toe kicks, elbows, boots, just hitting anywhere he can make contact with for substantial damage. And a vicious series of palm strikes, low roundhouse, and keeping up the pressure, delivering just a series of mounted punches. And Newton, parting shot as he's sent back to his own corner. As Robert Walsh delivering a series of boots to the chest and stomach of the Bookoo fighter. Thumb to the eyes, but he's able to get to his own corner. Monty back into this ring, trying to figure out what he's going to do next, and another 630. And right into a giant swing. Harada breaking that hold up for the safety of performers. So very close to the rope, so very close to that corner turnbuckle. As a kitchen sink will shut Monty down. Suplex and drop. Walsh now just not giving Monty a moment to breathe. 2-on-1 situation in the corner here. Big lift and drop, and Newton able to pick up the pieces with a clubbing blow right to the neck. Step over toe hold, face lock. Bookoo fighter hits the ring. He has had enough.
10 minutes left.
Big Russian leg sweep, both men down. Toe kick, but no. Not quite enough to put Monty on the mat. Able to escape to his own corner. Another Russian leg sweep for good measure. And the catch-as-catch-can specialist going right back to work. The master of the armbar, but he has not really been given any opportunities despite those wild punches. Newton and Walsh being uncharacteristically careful, not giving him an opportunity to lock in those holds. Hold on, lift, and leaping pile driver, crushing the neck, crushing the skull of the Bookoo fighter, and very nearly getting a fall right there. Low roundhouse will connect, and both men now in a bit of a slugfest. Scoop and a slam as Walsh goes back to basics. This Walsh and Newton unit just so very in control, so very motivated. But hold on, STO and sweep combination. And flipping big boy from the big man that is Monty, but hold on. Double arm DDT, center of the ring, going for the cover. 2.
Come on, bastard.
Bookoo fighter talking the talk, able to walk the walk with that low roundhouse, and Walsh showing exactly what division he is interested in competing in, utilizing that foreign object to great effect. Harada going to let them fight. As Monty just dripping blood about the mat, big wheel kick, and an answer back, a headbutt targeting the cut above the eyes of Monty. Series of toe kicks will shut that team down. as the wild shots of Newton answered back by those devastating punches of his own. Both men down, but Newton to his feet first, firing Monty into the ropes and crushing lariat. Low roundhouse once again. And hold on just a moment here. Hitting the Bookoo fighter with his own triangle lancer. The ultimate disrespect. Colossal double vertical suplex. And Newton going to the outside. Monty and Walsh fighting inside the ring. Harada losing control of this match. And Harada's count at 16. Knocking Monty off. Nerve hold applied. But somehow, some way, the Bookoo fighter able to hang on. Float over DDT, but reaching back to his own corner. Damage has been done, and a double 630. No, he's not finished yet. A third one for good measure. Crushing lariat, and Walsh needs to get back to his own corner, needs to get his teammate into this match. And another double vertical suplex. That is the hold that changed the course of this match so severely. Big neck breaker. And exploder suplex and shotgun dropkick as the follow-up here, and another crushing blow from the brawler that is John Newton. Diving elbow. Monty in trouble here, in a pool of his own blood. Picks him up, leaping pile driver, but Monty right back to his feet, scrambling to his own corner, and a series of patented toe kicks going to create an opportunity here.
Not so fast.
And again, both teams on the outside. Harada just losing control of this match. Triangle Lancer on the outside. You can't be submitted on the floor. Hold on. Dive kick off the top, and that patented cross arm breaker. The master of the armbar picking up a victory. Over John Newton. As I said, Monty, a man with very limited singles experience, but when he shares a ring with the Bookoo fighter, when he shares a ring with his mentor, extraordinarily dangerous competitor to square off against. And John Newton, Robert Walsh found that out the hard way, although if they were able to cut off the ring, Monty just in such dire straits in that blue Gatorade side of the ring, able to bring the Bookoo fighter into this match, able to bring the more experienced fighter into this match, and that ultimately became the difference maker. And how you doing, GK? You know, I did see that message in the opening minutes of that match, and the answer to that question is absolutely yes. So perhaps a rematch is in order a little bit further down the road. I certainly wouldn't mind that being the case. But right now, you know, credit where credit is due. Monty and the Bookoo fighter picking up a key win in that tag team division. But coming up next, a staple in the world of Blake's House Professional Wrestling. That is, of course, the Battle Royal to determine who is going to be facing Mag.Lo in tonight's Open Challenge. So if y'all want to call out some names, we are going to need 8. Want to see Timmy throws? Can make that happen. You very badly want him to do something in one of these, and I do appreciate that. He has been getting some kind of rough luck for the last few weeks in a row. But I mean, hey, that is sometimes how these things happen. See the Duke of the Battle Royal himself, Frank Vista. I can make that happen. Let's see here. Let's see. There's a name I'm going to call out as well. I mean, that can certainly be arranged. Like, hey, if you want to call your shot, we can absolutely make that happen. I'm going to put in Shane McMahon. Because he is a kind of a historic guest appearance on Blake's House Professional Wrestling with that rivalry with Jamel. And Jamel very famously calling him Sunday Dad the first time he watched a match with him, because he does just dress like an old person that is just chilling on a Sunday night or a Sunday afternoon. You want to see JBIII? I can make that happen. I'm not sure if I have Raleigh. I'll check. He'd probably be in my NXT stable. Let's see. I do not. Boy, there's a few nonsense in this, ain't there? Because I definitely wouldn't have him in my main WWE stable. Because this is almost all old stuff, with the exception of Mysterio that I added just to do Mysterio and his 2 dads. Which, boy, if they could have held on to their championship for 2 more weeks. Yeah, I can definitely put in Nakamura's Hype Man. So many gone, and so many that probably should be. Yeah, honestly, it sucks that like WWE just like hates managers and has for like the last 15, 20 years. Because there are some guys that just like do really well in that role. Was it like Leo Rush as Lashley's manager was fantastic. You know what? We can put Tyler in there. I'm cool with that. We haven't seen him on TV in a little while. How you doing, Blake? Appreciate you dropping in. Got some good news for you. Your forever feud against Sterling is going to continue after this match because you will be facing Sterling next. And I think regardless of the result of that, I think I'm going to reach out to both of y'all to cut some promos on one another. So I think that would be cool and good. I can know about the TV stable. Yeah, let me know if y'all see anything. Want to see Bonesaw. We'll see if he is ready to take on this Battle Royal tonight. And that is going to leave room for one more name. You want to see some flippy shit? Let's see here. I'm going to pass on that just because you've already got a few picks tonight. Let me think about what I can do for that. I think I've already put Delphin in one of these. Let's see. Now, let's take a look at the US Indie. What my options are here. Let's see. Oh, man. A couple nonsense in this one, too. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Actually, hold on. Yeah. We're doing Triple Eserios. Mr. Aguila, if you want to see some flippy shit. I forgot I downloaded him. Alright, so we have got 8 names picked out here. One of them will go on to face Mag.Lo himself later on tonight's program. So let's not waste any more time. 8-man over-the-top Battle Royal. And that match, it's right now. And already it is chaos in the ring. As 8 bodies collide, only one will be victorious. Person to watch out for. Timothy Throws, a man that has been in the last 3 Battle Royals not able to pick up a victory. Pretty early and unceremonious exit. Somebody already busted open here tonight. Tough to tell who in all the chaos. And hold on, Tyler Donaldson eliminated. I was about to say, we haven't seen him on Blake's House Television in over a month. Well, he has been sent packing. And we are down to 7. I believe this is a Blake's House Wrestling debut for Mr. Aguila. A man with just a truly fascinating moonsault. But right now, Shane McMahon trying to break his back, make him humble, but Bugenhagen sent away into that blue Gatorade corner, and that might be the safest place in the ring for the moment. As Aguila and Throws slugging it out. Mount tackle attempted, but sidestepped by JBIII. JBIII, series of wild shots. And hold on. McMahon sent to the outside as a hanging choke applied. Big double power bomb. And JB3 and Timmy Throws now going head to head. But Bonesaw cutting in. On back switch from Aguila, and big leg lariat will connect. Going for a quick cover. 2, but only gets 2. Lift and drop Bonesaw back to basics. And a snapmare will drop JB3, and no loyalty among stablemates as Vista and JB3 going head to head, at least for a moment, until Timothy Throws cut in. And this right here, it is a matchup for the ages. 2 wrestler-ass wrestlers in Timothy Throws and Frank Vista. Alon Aguila stretching out JB3. JB3's got nowhere to go, but able to roll off. And unfortunately rolling out of the frying pan and into the fire. One back switch and big reverse DDT. Guillotine across the throat. And belly to belly overhead suplex. Pump handle bomb, but fingertips on the ropes. Hold on, suplex blocked. Aguila possibly getting sent to the back, and he is. Big leaping facebuster. Bugenhagen has that octopus hold applied. Arms trapped and suplex will connect. But JB3, that patented dick-based offense, has scored so many victories with that. As Rick Boog's series of shots and a barn door right hand. Big spine buster. Bugenhagen is on fire. And taking just a moment too long to bask in it, and that ends up costing him as Timothy Throws all over him. Big belly-to-belly overhead suplex. Bonesaw was not ready. He was sent over the top rope and on to the mats below. Octopus hold applied once again. As JB3 fired into the corner, and Timothy Throws going high risk. No, blocked and reversed over the top rope. Your final 3, Bugenhagen, JB3, and hold on, suplex blocked. It's going to be a Judgment Professional Wrestling matchup against Mag.Lo later on tonight. JB3 going for a cover. And no, Vista just at the last moment getting a shoulder off the mat. JB3 getting himself hyped up. And hold on. Vista sent to the outside. And JB3 going to be taking on Mag.Lo. A rematch of the first ever Blake's House professional wrestling match. I mean, Bonesaw did say he was ready, but crucially, he did lose that wrestling match in 2 minutes. So, possibly over-evaluated his preparedness just a little bit. But coming up next. He did. Actually, you know what? Blake not doing this as a member of the Dark Hour. I think Blake, as a solo act, gonna be doing this one here tonight. As the money man, Blake Cavis, gonna be taking on Sterling Thomas in a rivalry nearly as old as Blake's house. As these two men meet inside the squared circle. I believe for the first time, so at least the first time in a single. So without any further time spent saying things, let's get into this match. And the arrogant swagger of Blake Cavis as he makes his way. You can hear the theme, Rainmaker. The man across from him, truly a monster of a man. Former Blake's House Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, former Blake's House Wrestling Tag Team Champion. And a man that looks to punish Blake, but Blake answering back with those educated feet. And right now, these two feel each other out a little bit, and if there is anyone these two men know, it is each other. And hold on, lung blower in the opening moments of this match, but Sterling scrambling back to his feet. Blake already swinging for it all, and Sterling with the answer back. Blake dazed from that low blow and crushing side slam. Going right to the neck, trying to take the wind away from him. And Blake trying to figure out exactly how he can slow Sterling down, but Sterling is a freight train. Big flying head scissors. He won't be stopped. He can barely be contained, but Blake looking to do exactly that as he buries a flashing elbow right in the X on his chest. Right now, Blake going for it all. Crossface chicken wing applied. Sterling just all power, fighting his way out of that hold. Cover one, but only one. Hold on, small package hold, one. Again, only gets one. Sunset flip powerbomb, and Blake just quick cover after quick cover after quick cover, testing Sterling, seeing if he is ready. Because you have only got to get lucky once. Blake now, hold on, figure four locked in. Just utilizing that leverage, increase the pressure, but Sterling able to slip out. And right back to basics, right back to those clubbing blows, right back to those lifts and drops. There is no finesse in Sterling style. Never has been, never will be. But that gorilla press, just as effective. And hold on, going for it. Tombstone pile driver. And whatever momentum Blake had, Sterling shutting that down. Falling fist right into the chest. And right back to it. Just throwing Blake around the ring, going high risk, and a falling fist just crushing the lower back of Blake picking him apart. And hold on, Ushigoroshi, back of the neck colliding with the knee. Blake fighting his way back to his feet. Spinebuster center of the ring, and now it's Blake's turn. Now Blake's going high risk. And a big frog splash in honor of his Uncle Eddie. Cover 2, but only gets 2. And Sterling right back to it. Right back to that chokehold, but Blake stretching those legs out, getting to that bottom rope. But 100 hands buried into his chest. And Sterling is not finished yet. Another big falling fist and another 100 hands to the chest. And Sterling, he says he's not done, but Blake again, sunset flip powerbomb, cover 2. Oh my God. Hold on. Sterling able to escape the hold, and a crushing lariat just knocking Blake right on his stomach as he flips through. Sterling slipping under that big open hand chop, but Blake going right back to it. Flashing elbow right across the throat. And hold on, gigantic choke slam center of the ring. Is that going to be enough? Cover 2. Oh my God, so close. But Blake fighting back to his feet. But Sterling, just the sheer size difference there, just colliding with Blake is enough. And hold on, if 1 wasn't enough, 2 almost certainly will be. Giant chokeslam, cover 2, 3, count, fall. And Sterling has never had finesse in his style, and never will. Has never had respect, and never will. 2 gigantic choke slams. Enough to put Blake down. Yeah, this turned out very similar to my opening match tonight. Is like, all right, you kicked out of the finish. All right, it's Blake's turn now. And then Sterling simply said, no, thank you. I will just hit you with my finish again. Which is a very Sterling move, to be honest. Very much enjoy when the people in this video game that I have made do fight approximately like themselves. True. I mean, like I said, Sterling has never respected anyone in his life. That might not be true, but anyone I've ever played games with, Sterling does not respect them in video games. That much I know for certain. But let's see. Let's go ahead and keep this show rolling. As I mentioned earlier tonight, Jim, Jack, and Rip Studley, 1 win away from getting to call their shot, getting to pick which tag team championship they are going to be challenging for tonight. Well, one of those tag teams, a team of Idolo and Ramos, sitting at the top of the Blake's House Wrestling Tag Team Division. And Idolo wants to remind Jim, Jack, and Studley, wants to remind everyone at home just how dominant of a performer that he is. But there's another man in this match that is interested in exactly the same thing. Jason Solarion, he is thirsty for that JPW title shot so bad that he's dehydrated. He needs another shot at Kurt London. And he does not care how many people that he has got to beat, how many people that he has got to leave bloody to earn that title shot. So he has called out a current Blake's House Wrestling champion. He's called out El Idolo. But only one man gets their hand raised at the end of the match. Will it be Mr. 5-Star himself? Will it be Idolo? Well, there's only one way to find out. And that's this match right now. And here comes Mr. 5-Star. Said this man wants a championship opportunity so very badly, but it is a crowded singles division. Picking up a victory over a current champion, even a tag team champion in a singles match. That is important. That gets you noticed here at Blake's House Wrestling. Of course, Idolo's almost certainly looking past this match, looking towards that Jim Jack and Rip Studley match coming up next. Preparing himself for a potential challenger to that Blake's House Wrestling Tag Team title, as he has got that hold locked in tight, but Solarion able to escape the hold. And you can see both men have a corner. Solarion has JB3 in his corner. A man that has been managing him for the past several weeks, and oh my god, vicious DDT. And of course, in Idolo's corner is Ramos, the other half of that Blake's House Wrestling Tag Team Champions, but you've got to be able to settle this one in the ring by yourself. Both of these men extremely capable at doing so. As Idolo, often described as the premier athlete of Nick's wrestling organization, a man that is so technically gifted, is so incredibly talented, as he delivers a picture-perfect dropkick square in the chest of Mr. 5-Star. But if there is anyone on that Judgment Pro Wrestling roster that can match Idolo's athleticism, it is going to be Jason Solarion. And I believe these two men have collided once before in a tag team capacity. Of course, that was when Solarion was tagging with his former mentor, his former friend, Kurt London, and current Judgment Professional Wrestling champion. But tonight, he's got to do it all by himself. Although, I say that, JB3 slipping an equalizer into the ring. See if that comes into play over the course of this match. Hold on, rolling through and double stomp, crushing the chest of Idolo. And a vicious Insagiri trying to take the head clean off the shoulders of Idolo, and Solarion, big knee strike. He is going for it all here. As a star shot will collide with the side of the head. Both men slugging it out, but Idolo gained the upper hand, at least for the moment. As satellite head scissors, and Solarion able to roll through, but hold on, going high risk, and no, rolling out of the way and onto that equalizer. Idolo in harm's way in a major way. Dragon Screw leg whip takes him off his feet. And possibly going for it all here. Star shot right into the jaw. Goes for the cover, but a little bit too much time posturing. Not enough time being aware of where you are in the ring, and that could cost him. Hold on. Idolo sent to the outside, but quickly rolling back in. And hold on. Destroyer into the center of the ring. But Solarion able to protect himself, able to fight his way back to his feet. Both of these men just dancing around the ring. Neither able to get a sure killing blow here. Hold on, armbar out of nowhere. And again, possibly looking for that star shot hold. And he does. Star shot to the side of the head. Going for the cover once again. 1, 2. No. Only gets 2, and Idolo, more frustrated than anything, a vicious series of strikes, goes for a cover of his own, but this time it's Solarion reaching out and touching that bottom rope. Going high risk here, and somersault drop kick. Solarion goes for the cover one more time too. But that is not enough to pin Idolo, not enough to pin a current Blake's House Wrestling champion. And goes for a cover of his own. 1, 2. And JBIII adding another foreign object to the pile. Giving Solarion a little bit more to work with. Tight power slam. And Idolo trying to stay out of that corner, stay away from those objects. Sunset flip powerbomb out of nowhere. Cover 2. And very nearly picking up a victory of his own. Twisting facebuster, both men down. Who's going to get to their feet first? Both very nearly simultaneously. And hold on, cross arm breaker out of nowhere. And roll through, double stomp, and he is not done yet. Mr. 5-star with that 5-star frog splash. If he goes for the cover here, that has got to be it. No, he doesn't seem to think so. Sleeper hold locked in, and that will be it. Idolo just out of gas from that vicious assault. And Jason Solarion picking up a major victory. As I said, a statement win. Now, despite that being a singles match, El Idolo is still a Blake's House Wrestling champion. And Solarion proving that he belongs in the same ring as Idolo and Ramos. Let me grab a sip of water real quick, and we will keep this show rolling. And coming up next, this is the match we were talking about in that Idolo and Solarion match. Jim Jack and Rip Studley, a tag team that have surprised everyone in just how dominant they have been in the past several weeks. the tag team division has been put on notice in a major way. And Blake's House Wrestling general manager telling them if they win tonight, they get to call their shot. They get to decide which tag team championship they will be challenging for. So they are going to be going head-to-head with Team Daytona, or at least 2/3 of Team Daytona. Antonio Del Valle and Drew Serpa. And that match is right now. Jack and Rip Studley, you would think they were a mismatched pair, but they are both extraordinarily gifted power wrestlers. They are both surprisingly gifted wrestlers. You know, Rip Studley specifically, just a technical wizard. But Jim Jack's bag of tricks is extremely deep. And he will need every single one of those to take out Team Daytona. As right now, it's the tale as old as time as that big kick takes the legs out from underneath the legs of Antonio. It is Power going head-to-head with agility. And right now, Power in a very strong start. Antonio, low roundhouse of his own. And Japanese-style arm drag, the equalizer, goes for the cover, but only gets one. And Antonio possibly seeing a bit of a mismatch here, bringing in a wrestler's wrestler that is Drew Serpa, but Japanese-style arm drag. Jim Jack has got one for you. He's got one for you. He's got one for everybody. Lift and drop. And right now, Serpa just bringing it back to basics. Headlock takeover, suplexes, going for those quick palm strikes and forearm smashes. You're going to be seeing a lot of those tonight, but right now, this Jim Jack and Rip Studley team not allowing Team Daytona to get started, and that is exactly what you've got to do. But a big European uppercut will shut down Studley, at least for the moment. Team Daytona's tandem offense has been fantastic in recent moments. We'll have to see if that holds up. That could be a major difference maker in this match, as Antonio having nothing to do with that orange Gatorade turnbuckle. And a big frog splash of his own, but fingers on that bottom rope. Not even a count of one, and Studley trying to fight his way out of that orange Gatorade side of the ring. Deadlift suplex, crushing the neck of Antonio. Going for that big wheel kick, doesn't quite find his mark. And a flapjack and cutter combination. But Studley, he's not done. Both legs trapped, grapevine across the waist. Finally sent to his own apron by Harada. And Antonio going back to his own corner, and it looks like this is the matchup this team wants to focus on. It wants Drew to be going head-to-head with the power wrestler that is Jim Jack. Trying to match power with technique, and there is nobody better in Blake's House Wrestling as a pure wrestler than Drew Serpa. He has fought them all. Shooting under that big boot, neither man able to make contact, but right now both of these men just trying to find their footing in this match, and it is a challenge. It is a struggle. But back to basics, lift and drop. Double underhook, blocked, and just classic back body drop. That's going to allow him to get back to his own corner. Antonio brought into this match. Double underhook once again, and again blocked with that back body drop. And Antonio now, that lasso from El Paso, but big wheel kick, but doesn't quite find his mark. And there we go, double underhook suplex applied. And a penalty kick right into the chest. And putting those feet to good use once again. But that tandem offense of Team Daytona, these two men have been fighting together for over 10 years. Hold on. Possibly going for a backdrop, but Drew had it scouted. You're going to have to get up pretty early in the morning to put one over on Drew Serpa. But just a crushing blow right to the face, catching him off guard and allowing him to deliver those mounted punches. Big suplex, and Jim-Jack has found his voice in this match, but roll up out of nowhere cover, but no. Jim-Jack trying to prevent Drew from being able to get in and make a tag, and that is so very crucial. When you've got that offensive momentum, you need to keep it. Once again, going for that mount tackle, but not quite able to get it. Driving his hips and big suplex, sending Drew into that blue Gatorade corner. Once again, going for that mount tackle, but the tackle was sidestep, but that was able to give him a side switch, get back into his own corner, and again, STO and sweep. Antonio going high, risk and rolling guillotine off the top. Team Daytona finding themselves in a major way here. Antonio at that top turnbuckle, going for it all. Dive kick off the top rope. And hold on, Tornado DDT. He can do it all, folks. And Jim-Jack, he has had enough of Antonio. But providing just enough of a distraction. Studley crushing open hand strike, and a punt kick will connect. Big shoulder block. And Antonio right back to basics, right back to that sleeper hold. And hold on just a moment here. Jim-Jack creating an opportunity for his partner, delivering that 1-2 shot uncontested. And both men now just positively wiped out by that exchange. Yeah. And Antonio just dropped right onto the mat. Just the power and versatility of this team is extraordinary. Yeah. Able to escape that wheel kick, and double armbar applied. Drew trapped in this hold. Antonio coming in to break it up, and Studley sees it, breaks the hold, protect himself, hold on, powerbomb once, twice, and hold on, just a moment here, Death Valley driver. Back to his own corner, bringing in a fresh Jim-Jack into this contest. Going for that spear, doesn't find anybody home, but that knee to the gut will shut him down, and Jim-Jack now going high risk, colossal diving headbutt. And he is not finished. Double stomp, but no. Drew rolling out of the way, but a stunner will shut him down, shut him out. Goes for the cover. One, but only gets one. Antonio able to cut him off. Mount tackle applied. Vicious series of punches. Studley sent back to his own corner to not risk disqualification. And this match has just kicked it up a notch in a major way. Rushing pile driver, and just locked in, but Drew able to break the pressure. Hold on, back switch. And Studley looking to prove himself to himself, prove himself to Drew, prove himself to you, wants to out wrestle a wrestler, but that is such a dangerous proposition. As Drew able to get the upper hand in the end, apply that armbar. Or excuse me, hammerlock, but boot right to the face. Double underhook. Power will connect. And the answer back, flattening Antonio to the mat. Antonio on roller skates here. And again, Studley providing the distraction, but Antonio able to escape the hold. Going for that patented wheel kick, doesn't find its mark. Big vertical suplex, but Drew the legal man here. But small package bomb cover. Only gets one. Double underhook. Face buster. If he goes for the cover here, it's all over. One. No, only gets one. Antonio just protecting his team. Scarf hold locked in. Now it's Jim-Jack in dire straits. Antonio forcing Rip Studley back into his own corner, but Jim-Jack able to get to it, able to protect himself, and able to slip out of the pressure, and now Studley in control. Serpa escaping to his own corner, and back to basics. Antonio set up here. Fired into the ropes, and picture perfect power slam, and he is not done yet, driving his boot right through the chest of Antonio. Double underhook, and willpower connects. Both men down, both to their feet at the same time, and powerbomb once, twice. Death Valley driver. Into the corner turnbuckle he goes. Just a series of kicks to the chest. And Jim-Jack has had enough. He thinks this match is over with. Big frog splash will connect. Jim-Jack unable to cut the ring off, and that is such a staple of Mixed Wrestling Organization wrestling, and really shows the inexperience of this duo. Mount tackle applied. Hold on. Jim-Jack able to escape the pressure. And a major miscue costing Jim-Jack the momentum. Both men down, both men to their feet at the same time. And colossal power bomb back to his own corner. Drew out on his feet, crushing blow. And hold on, fired into the ropes. Mount tackle applied, and scarf hold locked in. Studley hanging on, and no! Antonio cutting off Jim-Jack exactly long enough. Studley could not hang on any longer. And denying Jim-Jack and Rip Studley their golden ticket. We will have to see what the future holds for both of these teams. I love this video game a lot. There is one thing about this game, and I understand why it is the way it is. At least mechanically, but it does kind of make for weird interactions, is the submission system. Is the shit we saw at the end of this match almost never happens. If somebody locks on a hold and like they don't sit in the hold and then tap out. It's basically if your spirit gauge, which determines your ability to break out of a submission or escape a pinfall, is low enough, as soon as that hold goes on, you are submitted. It just so happened that the way this match played out, he had just enough spirit health to stay in the submission, and then for a couple seconds, it was reduced to 0, and then he submitted. That almost never happens in this video game. It's really cool when it does, because you see shit like that. But it is a nitpicky thing, especially with respect to tag matches, because it makes submission characters much more powerful. Because they never have to, like, if their match ender is a submission, they don't really have to worry about having their match enders broken up, because as soon as they lock it on, the match is over. But every once in a while you see something like this, and it is very cool. But I digress. We've got 3 more matches left for y'all tonight. So let us go ahead and queue up the next match, and we now know exactly who is going to be facing Mag.Lo tonight. It is going to be none other than the big boss of Judgment Professional Wrestling himself. They said this is going to be a rematch of the first ever Blake's House Wrestling Heavyweight Championship match. Mag.Lo, JBIII, the rematch, and it's next. Mag.Lo making his way to the ring. And of course, you can find the theme of Mag.Lo and so much more at maglo.bandcamp.com. But right now, he's got to be focused. The man standing across from him was so very dangerous in their first exchange, and he has only got better. He's only got stronger. He has only got more effective as a wrestler. Just a truly meteoric rise. Coming back very nearly a different person after that injury that Terrell applied with that burning hammer to his neck. And right now, big boot right to the chest, and JBIII just lift and drop and wants to remind everyone at home just how big, how strong, how fast he is. But the only man that he has got to prove is the man standing across from him tonight. And right now, Mag.Lo right back to his feet, fighting back as that single leg crab applied. Able to break the hold. And again, big boots from JBIII. Mag.Lo answering back with a headbutt and a second headbutt. JBIII so effective at protecting himself, and this is what punched his ticket to this match. Blocking those suplexes. Such a strategic fighter. He is a master of making sure the fight takes place where and how he wants it. And right now, Mag.Lo is finding that out the hard way. As JBIII hypes himself up for this match. But Mag.Lo answering back, lift and drop, and getting himself fired up. Getting the crowd fired up, too, in a major way. Series of headlock and punches. And JBIII unbothered by the crowd chanting his opponent's name. Going for a quick cover, gets a count of 1, just testing the waters here, but that's going to cost him as JB3 makes him pay, just crushing the knee, the calves of Mag.Lo. And again, JB3 just pushing Mag.Lo around. And Mag.Lo going to that patented airplane spin. That signature hold of his, lift and slam to the mat. And a clothesline all the way from Bretton Woods, and that has woken the crowd up, but it has only got him a count of 1. Single leg crab applied, but Mag.Lo all over that bottom rope, able to break the hold. And right back to that patented spinning toe hold. JB3 not just fighting the man across from him. He's fighting a hostile crowd, and he knows it. But he seems to take a certain sort of joy in proving this crowd wrong. And hold on, Mag.Lo lift and drop. Possibly looking to go high risk here. No, thinks better of it as JB3 scrambles to his feet. And flashing elbow right to the throat, slipping that punch and delivering a series of blows of his own. And right now, JB3 just so effective, so good at staying out of Mag.Lo's effective range. And now delivering a series of hooks, just crushing the legs of Mag.Lo. Mag.Lo answering back, flying at the corner, but JB3 going right back to the legs. Just trying to take the bigger man down. Mag.Lo going for another quick cover, testing the waters once again, but JB3 a difficult man to catch by surprise, but that clothesline from Bretton Woods, certainly I didn't see it coming. Going for the cover. 1, 2, count 2. And just a series of shots, and JB3 again getting amped up, just taking so much joy in throwing around the People's Champion. And that signature dick hold, Mag.Lo hanging on for dear life. And Mag.Lo now in trouble. JB3 possibly calling for that brass knucks shot. But Mag.Lo having absolutely nothing to do with that. Just a series of shots, but JB3 staying on his feet. Crushing lariat. Mag.Lo answering back. Satellite. Rana goes for the cover. 1, 2. Oh my God, so close. You can see the frustration on JB3's face, and hold on, Mag.Lo. Driver! Mag.Lo going for the cover. 2. No, that's not enough to put JB3 away. But that is exactly what we should expect. Both of these men, former Blake's House Wrestling champions. Hold on, double underhook. DDT once again, and Mag.Lo going high risk. Big cross body, but hold on, JB3 stretching a leg out. So very smart. Hold on, muscle buster! Goes for the cover again and again. JB3 protecting himself, getting a foot on that bottom rope, and this match, it will continue. Both men just struggling to find their footing in the late phase of this match. But Mag.Lo going the distance, big shoulder block. He is not done yet. But JB3 answers back once, twice, 3 times. And another double arm DDT. Mag.Lo trying to figure out what can he do? What can he hit JB3 with that he hasn't gotten up from already? And JB3 looking to ask the same question. Hold on. Tree of Woe. And just a series of shots. Targeting the legs, targeting the ribs. And another double arm DDT. But JB3 right back to his feet. Big football style tackle. Mag.Lo trying to just... You can see the exasperation on his face. You can see he doesn't know what to do next. And both men going for it all, neither quite able to pick up the win here. Big boot, just colossal. And JB3, he's looking to end it all right here, right now, but Mag.Lo says no. And Mag.Lo, he has been waiting 16 very long minutes to deliver that drop kick. And you can see just how much that took out of JB3. Just lost his focus for a critical moment. And that was a difference maker. Another Yakuza kick, goes for the cover. 2! No! No, that's not enough to put Mag.Lo away. Mag.Lo going high risk and big diving elbow cover. 2, 3, count, fall. And Mag.Lo defending Blake's house. But JB3 just making his presence felt in such a huge way. Taking the People's Champion to the limit. Kicking out of very nearly everything he had. When Mag.Lo gets desperate, Mag.Lo gets creative. And that big diving elbow, JB3 just wasn't prepared for it. And I do say this every week. If Mag.Lo is in your town, whether it be for a wrestling match or it be on a stage doing music, you need to go see him. Because that is exactly the sort of show that he is going to give you. We have got just 2 more matches left tonight, folks. I am genuinely concerned this team is going to be really, really hard to get the belts off of. I think we're going to let this rock for a couple more weeks, but we are going to see kind of where that goes. I'm going to run to the restroom really quick. And we will set this match up. Not just yet. But we'll keep some stuff in our back pocket. But I'm going to run to the restroom real quick, and I'll be right back, and we will get into tonight's semi-main event. Alright, let us see here. Let's see here. Oh, this is like rookie Orton. Let's see here. I might still go with rookie Orton. Yeah, I think I will. I figure, you know, we're going to go with Team Third Generation on Father's Day. At least, like, my Team Third Generation, because they have since made a lot more of those. So I downloaded another rock earlier today because I wanted like early to mid 2000s rock, but that one had a bunch of custom parts that I couldn't easily find on the workshop because it was made before. It was made before you could just link directly to the custom parts. So I kind of scrambled a little bit before the show and downloaded this one. But yeah, this rock is very wide. I mean, the rock is crucially very wide if you have seen him recently in the Fast family of products. So it's not necessarily wrong. But, yeah, Team Third Generation taking on the Huge Wrestling Alliance in 6-man tag team action. And that match, it's right now. All three of these men, third generation WWE superstars, all three of these men extraordinarily accomplished, both in World Wrestling Entertainment and in other endeavors. Of course, Chavo, Guerrero, making waves in Lucha Underground and on the Indies. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a megastar in the world of Hollywood, but they're going against a team that fights in the streets. Huge Wrestling Alliance, formerly Mad Gear, they sold drugs. And right now, major size mismatch as Orton going head-to-head with Hugo. Swinging for the fences with that clothesline. That would have taken Orton's head off his shoulders. Trying to overpower Hugo, and that is such a challenging endeavor. Able to maneuver him around the ring and hanging his neck up against that top rope. Orton doing everything he can to control the ring right now. Right now, Roxy, the legal competitor for the Huge Wrestling Alliance. Going for a quick cover, but hands on the bottom rope. Orton, known as the best dropkick in WWE, certainly since Bob Holly left. Now one half of Los Guerreros. Chavo, the legal man for Team Third Generation, and a big double suplex will send Roxy to the outside. And Chabolito standing alone in this 20-by-20. Big knee to the gut. And Chavo just keeping up the pressure, just not letting up for a moment. And that is going to be so important at taking this Huge Wrestling Alliance team down. Northern Lights suplex, but Poison now the legal competitor for this Orange Gatorade team. Dragon Screw leg whip. Poison now getting the upper hand of Chavo. And here comes the main event. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, son of Rocky Mayavias, who is in turn the son of the High Chief Peter Maivia. But right now, none of that matters, as Poison slugging it out with The Rock. And hold on, we have got two titans in the ring. Hugo launching himself into that blue Gatorade corner. Punch is blocked, and The Rock delivering one of those patented right hands into the face of Hugo. On lift and backbreaker will connect, and Hugo going back to his own corner. Chavo and Poison, legal competitors in this match. And crushing dropkick of his own, but Poison right back to her feet. Just not allowing Team Third Generation to really maintain momentum. You saw those quick tags that this Huge Wrestling Alliance team has been making use of. They don't want Team Third Generation to get comfortable. Ooh, going for that big chop. Doesn't find its mark, but Chavo, big vertical suplex. Going for a cover. Two, no, only gets one. Poison made of tougher stuff than that, going back to her own corner, and here comes the pain as Hugo hitting the ring once again. And getting into that strike exchange with Hugo, so dangerous. Those hands like frying pans, but hold on. Here comes Orton. A bit of a miscue between Orton and Chavo, and that could cost this team. A big backbreaker will flatten Orton. And Hugo launching himself at Orton. Orton capitalizing, goes for the cover, but not able to get even a count of one. Hugo just so extraordinarily resilient and delivering a punishing elbow to the crown. Going for the cover, too. Very nearly getting elimination, but this Huge Wrestling Alliance team so effective, staying together, staying in this match. You saw it last week when it looked like they were down and out. Hold on, roll up, no. When it looked like all hope was lost, that team came together, scored a major victory. Oh my God, Hugo off that top turnbuckle. So terrifying. That's 500 pounds crashing down. But Chavo able to escape that fate, if only for a moment. As Chavo sent to the outside, both teams electing to stay on their own aprons, going to let Chavo and Hugo fight it out. Go back to his own corner, and now here comes Roxy. And brain buster from Chavo, goes for the cover, two, and gets a count of two. Crushing lariat will connect, and the teamwork from this Huge Wrestling Alliance team cannot be overstated. That has been a major difference maker in why they have been winning consistently in this KOF TV Championship division. And hold on, Hugo going high risk. Oh my God, belly to belly overhead suplex. Big moonsault press, cover 2, and The Rock has had enough. A second moonsault press, cover 2, and this time Orton coming in to make the save, and both teams just crowding the ring. Big boot to the back of the head. Chavo in dire straits, able to escape to his own corner. Hugo doing the same, trying to keep up that offensive momentum with a fresh competitor. And right now, The Rock, Poison slugging it out. And the people delivering the people's punches. Dragon Screw Leg Whip is the answer back. Although really, there's at least 2 People's Champions on this program. Hold on, lift and back breaker once again. Although certainly we can't argue semantics at this moment, as there is a wrestling match going on right now, and Chavo backbreaker of his own. But hold on, torture rack applied. Eins wide, but no. Orton coming in to make the save, and Hugo in trouble. Hold on. Northern Lights suplex, cover 2. Only gets 2. Inverted suplex applied. Hugo just punishing Chavo Guerrero right now. And Orton and Roxy slugging it out. Orton delivering that patented dropkick he is so well known for. Hold on, back switch, but Orton shutting it down. High and low, unblockable applied, and Hugo sitting out, cover 2, and The Rock making the save. Big headbutt, Orton powering through it, somehow staying on his feet. Sleeper hold applied, but entirely too close to that orange Gatorade corner, and they are making him pay for it as a crushing series of blows lays out Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And Uranagi flattening Hugo, but Hugo right back to his feet. He is a monster of a man. But Orton just delivering punch after punch in the corner. That is all you can do to try and slow him down. Hugo bringing in a fresh poison. Orton doing the same with The Rock. And another reverse vertical suplex as a series of boots colliding with the back of Orton, and Orton feeling it. The Rock, big DDT, center of the ring, but Poison rolling through, able to get back to her own corner, and here comes a fresh Roxy. And this Huge Wrestling Alliance team so effective at just keeping fresh competitors in the match. It is so difficult for Team Third Generation to get into a rhythm. Big neck breaker from The Rock. And another one for good measure. Center of the ring. Such a dangerous position. Block and punch will connect. And a crushing clothesline from The Rock. Big vertical suplex, center of the ring. And Roxy right back to her feet. The Rock going back to his own corner. And here comes Chavo. But a big dropkick will lay him out. Roxy on fire. Taking down, hold on, no. Chavo sending Roxy to the outside. And Chavo launching himself over the top rope. Crossbody, crushing Roxy. Big double suplex. And Harada has lost control completely. Roxy going high risk. And leaping lung blower. She's going to go back to her own corner. And here comes Hugo. Hugo quite literally just throwing his weight around, all 500 pounds of it. And just creating trouble for Team Third Generation. Big double drop kick. Boom. Orton just back to basics. Lariat stomps him out, but backbreaker. Sit out cover. 1, 2. The Rock making the save. Neither team able to score an elimination. This match over 25 minutes, but neither team has what it takes to score that first elimination. But when one happens, others sure to follow. Poison just punishing Orton, goes for the cover. 2. And The Rock again, just such a crucial member of this team, breaking up pin attempt after pin attempt. Big DDT from Orton. And The Rock attempting to assist here, but and goes for the cover. No. The Huge Wrestling Alliance making Orton pay. Big Frankensteiner and Roxy just putting on a show for the crowd. Big knee to the back. The Rock attempting to deliver the people's punches, but Roxy having nothing to do with it. Colossal wheel kick. Roxy in control. And basement drop kick, taking his legs out from underneath his legs. Big suplex, reversing fortune here for Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but Roxy able to escape once again to her own corner. And here comes Hugo. Hugo sending The Rock into his own corner, but The Rock fighting back. And big double suplex, taking the big man off his feet. But a crushing lariat is the answer back, and Hugo is not done yet. Big boot levels Chavo Guerrero. Chavo answering back, big neck breaker. Goes for it all with that dropkick, but nobody home. Hanging choke and an elimination from Hugo. And oh my God, Randy Orton just leveled by that kick. And The Rock suddenly finds himself all alone against the Huge Wrestling Alliance. And the dynamic of this match, it has changed in an instant. Precision haymaker from Roxy. Big scissor kick, and The Rock in trouble. But hold on. Back body drop. The Rock trying to find some momentum anywhere that he can get it. The Rock getting fired up. Roxy answering back. She is not finished yet. And leaping lung blower. And a foreign object out of her coat, and The Rock now. It could not be any worse for him in this moment. In a pool of blood on the mat, 3-on-1. As Poison and Roxy both meet at Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And The Rock delivers the most electrifying move in sports entertainment, but Poison right back to her feet. But The Rock, he says, just bring it. Being low roundhouse, taking his legs out from underneath his legs. The Rock just can't find his footing. Tornado kick. And right now, it looks like this Huge Wrestling Alliance team toying with them. The Rock needs an elimination, and he needs it so very badly. As a vicious right hook shuts Poison down. And crushing kick to the jaw, but The Rock somehow fighting his way back. The Rock trying to cut off Poison's route to her own corner. But Poison getting the last laugh with that Rana, and Team Third Generation losing in a major way, a 3-0 sweep. And the Huge Wrestling Alliance picking up another victory. Yeah, that is sometimes how this works, is the thing about this game. Let's see here. Let me turn that back off. I'm curious. Let me see here. Poison. Okay, that is almost certainly her kick then. Let me try to remember what Love Storm is. It's been a while since I played Cross Tekken. Because I don't think she's got straight crit. But, yeah, Team Third Generation unable to get it done. In hindsight, I probably should have done Cowboy Bob Orton, Chavo Classic, and Rocky Johnson, but I realized it was Father's Day this morning, and just did not think about downloading their dads. I was like, you know what, we'll do Team Third Generation. That is the next best thing. So, right now, we have got one more match for y'all tonight. Now, a question I ask here is, are y'all out for blood? I'm going to let the audience decide what tonight's main event will be. Of course, tonight's match could be singles match. However, we can look at the other match types. I feel like I'm going to strike out the MMA stuff. But could do cage match, could do an exploding death match, or a landmine death match. I'm curious if y'all at home have any opinions on what tonight's main event is going to be. It is going to be Terrell Benjamin going up against PJ King of Dads on Father's Day. These men will be going to war with one another. But I will leave it up to y'all to decide exactly how that's going to be. I am thematically... Let me see if there's something going on. So I don't see any reason why that would be the case. Hold on a second. Because the only audio being picked up is that's outputting is my headset. Yeah, I can't imagine what else that would be. Because there's my microphone in and audio out are the two sounds that are on OBS. And my microphone in isn't playing back in my headset, so I can't imagine any reason that would be the case. So here's what I'm thinking with y'all. The cage match is extremely appealing to me. Now, cage matches in this video game are extraordinarily anticlimactic. However, this does create an opportunity where I do get to say 2 dads enter, 1 dad leaves, which is very funny to me. I mean, regular singles match, like, there is an appeal there in both of these guys are kind of traditional singles wrestlers, so you will get to see them at their best in a regular singles match. But if you want blood and guts, exploding death match, or landmine death match are going to be the move here. So let me know what y'all think. I'm going to wait a minute or two, and we will dig into the final match on tonight's program. All right. I mean, that is as much justification as I need. We are going in a steel cage. 2 dads enter, 1 dad leaves. So we've got Terrell Benjamin, PJ King of Dads, refereed by Special Enforcer Ken Shamrock. Yeah, let's dig into tonight's main events right now. So, the start of this program, I mentioned, we were going to be honoring the dads of Blake's House Professional Wrestling. Both of these men, in not too in the not-too-distant past have become fathers. And, you know, in our friend group, hey, that is truly something special. And what better way to honor them than by putting them in a professional wrestling match against one another inside of a 15-foot steel cage where 2 dads enter and 1 dad leaves. Of course, this is absolutely still within the continuity of Blake's House Professional Wrestling. Terrell Benjamin just last week competing for a #1 contenders opportunity, taking a tough loss to the swashbuckler Sean Satchwell. PJ, of course, a member of that illustrious Team Lake Mary that Josh Kaiser, the Blake's House Wrestling champion, the captain of Team Lake Mary, certainly going to create an opportunity. If Terrell can pick up a win tonight in such a high-stakes contest, that is going to be a major difference maker, getting him to bounce back. But PJ, King of Dads, a man that wants to, oh my god, standing Shiranui. PJ, King of Dads, a man that wants to get that momentum back strong, wants Team Lake Mary to go into that contest with Satchwell in a truly dominant way. And picking up a win tonight over Terrell is going to be a major statement, as that modified Boston Crab applied. Terrell struggling to escape the hold. Series of shots.
5 minutes gone.
Both of these men just extraordinarily determined. Big spine buster from Terrell Benjamin. Yes! But PJ rolling out of the way of the elbow drop. Both of these men just giving everything they've got. It is not all that different from what we saw last week. Terrell Benjamin, Sean Satchwell, both of those men wanted that win so bad. Well, tonight is no different. PJ, the King of Dads, formerly PJ, the King of Games. He can out-compete in anything. And Terrell Benjamin, of course, his determination is positively legendary. PJ possibly looking for that triple powerbomb, but Terrell shutting it down. Flashing elbow across the chest. And big Uranagi, big boy senton from the big man that is Terrell Benjamin, and he is going to keep up the pressure. Targeting the legs of PJ, making it all the more difficult to climb the cage. Stroke right onto that Singapore cane. And shotgun dropkick off the top rope. Both of these men going for it all. PJ just leveled with that Emerald Flosion. Shades of the Emerald Myth, Mitsuharu Misawa. And hold on, PJ answering back. Powerbomb once. Twice. 3 times into the mat. And hold on, Terrell laid out on the mat. That kick just flattened him, but PJ able to escape the cage, but Terrell just unable to get to his feet. That triple powerbomb just took so much wind out of him. That soul butt kick was enough to secure the victory. And PJ, King of Dads, proving that he is worthy of that title. As 2 dads entered a 15-foot tall steel cage, and PJ was the man to make it out on top. It is deeply unfortunate how unsatisfying cage matches are in this game. I suppose, like, I have nitpicked a little bit about the submission system. This is probably my one other big gripe with the game, is the AI knows exactly how long somebody is going to be down, and they can just, like, down somebody with a light attack, and if it's enough to escape the cage, they will simply leave. Which is, like, not super exciting. But like, regardless, I still think the cage match is, it is a good gimmick match, and it is something I've got to be willing to go to every once in a while, just to kind of break up the flow of things. Yeah, landmine matches are, like, probably the most interesting of the gimmick matches in the game. Because, like, you can kind of do... You can do your regular shit. Like, you can do rope work, which you can't do rope work in... what is it? In the Exploding Deathmatch, because the ropes are barbed wires. So you can do rope work, which means you don't lose too much of your moveset. But, like, hey, sometimes the landmines come into play, and that's very cool. Exploding Deathmatches are fun, but it's tough to time them out in a way that feels interesting. And it could just be that my characters are statted too low to, like, have a compelling exploding deathmatch. Because consistently, with a 15-minute timer, the match will end between the 14 and 15-minute mark, which sucks, but also I think a 10-minute timer is way too short. But, you know, just like the weird little things about this game. Of course, that is going to wrap up the main portion of tonight's program. We've got one more bonus match, and I'm going to figure out who to throw to while that's running on. We did quite literally see Poison just wrestle. So I will hit this button. Oh, actually, shit. Looking at Blade Saiva, I guess some spoilers for No More Heroes 3 came out, and Notorious from the Suda 51 DLC is mentioned in No More Heroes 3, which does check out because basically all of Suda's work is interconnected. So the Fire Pro Wrestling story is canon in the Kill the Past universe, which is cool. Video games are cool sometimes. But do let me know what y'all are thinking while y'all are doing that. I am going to, let's see here, see who might be on twitch.tv tonight. It doesn't look like anybody in the Blake's House clique is streaming tonight, but we'll see what we want to do with that. Let's see, Jamie and Spencer. I can make that happen. Spencer, I know, is a Rumble Roses character. Let me see. Okay, Jamie Wilson, a default character. You don't see too many of those anymore. So I'm going to hit the button there and figure out what I want to do here. Rumble Roses is a game that, like, you know, it would be kind of cool if they brought that back. Honestly, now would be the fucking time to do it, because the wrestling video game space is so wide open. Because Retromania was kind of recent. An M. Dickey game got a fucking console release, which is positively wild. WWE 2K shit the bed so severely that people just want wrestling games. Shit, I think Action Arcade Wrestling is still, like, a thing. So, like, the wrestling video game space is, like, wide open, and people can just, like, make shit in it, and people be excited for it. I am mildly curious what the AEW video game is going to look like. Because right now they are basically promising No Mercy. And if they deliver exactly No Mercy, AEW fans are going to be pissed. Because, hey, that is a good game. It is, like, a very good competitive wrestling video game, but the stuff you can do in that game is really limited, and people are going to want to do the cool shit they see on television. It's why the SmackDown series is so good. It's why, like, some of the WWE 2K games are, like, pretty good. And it's like, you can do what you see on television, and that's a big deal. If they don't deliver No Mercy, they have been promising people No Mercy, so the people that want that will be pissed. Like, I find it difficult to imagine what the game's final product is going to look like, and how it satisfies the people that want this video game. As always, I don't want the game to fail. I hope the game is very good, especially because, hey, that means I get to play as fucking, like, Eddie Kingston and Orange Cassidy and, like, Chris Statlander in a video game. You know, oh, that's pretty rad. I'm pretty sure Eddie Kingston has not been in a video game. If you told me he was in King of Colosseum, I would believe you, but I don't think he is. Point is, wrestling video games are cool. They should make more of them. And more people should make them. Maybe one day I'll stream Rumble Roses. That game was pretty alright. The last boss sucked to fight, though, I gotta say. She built meter entirely too fast. Is my review of Rumble Roses. Maybe someday. Probably not in the immediate future. I'm about to get fucked on by work. Like, they have not said the words mandatory overtime, but they have heavily implied it. So my next couple of months are gonna suck shit. But who knows what after that looks like.
10 minutes gone. One, two, three, four.
I do want to stream other stuff. It is just like socially, my dance card is just so full. There's just like not a good time outside of the 2 days a week I do stream to do shit. Because I do also like, even the days I'm not like booked socially, I want to be able to not do shit. It is definitely one of those, hey, at some point I'll get back to some of these other games I've been streaming, or might pick up a new game, but I do value my time off. I might try streaming plus R at some point, though. I am like kind of curious what that would feel like, because I do kind of like being able to bail out of netplay when I feel like I'm gonna start getting tilted, and streaming would be the opposite of that. But who could say? Right now, let me refresh my Twitch follows, see if there's anybody I want to throw to. Let's see. I think I might shut it down here. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. So, hey, if y'all enjoyed what y'all saw this evening, we try to do this every Sunday nights at 7:30 p.m. right here at twitch.tv/FerrisCindy. It is a weekly episodic wrestling show, which means we keep continuity week to week. This week was a bit of a, like, I mean, I'd say it was, like, no, I'd say today was a pretty regular episode. The main event was a little bit goofy, but sometimes you do have to have fun on this program. Hey, you as well. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us. Actually, I'll mention it in the Discord later, about like shit for this weekend. Anyway, yeah, we do keep continuity week to week. However, if this was your first show, I hope I did a good job of getting you caught up on what's going on, who's who, why people are fighting, so you had just as much fun as somebody that's been around here for over a year. I'd like to think I do a pretty good job of that, but feel free to tune in next week and be the judge for yourself. Additionally, at least for the immediate future, I stream on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Myself, my good friend Heavy Kira. We play some NHL 20, and we just kind of bullshit about whatever happens to be on our mind that particular week. This past week, I cyberbullied Harada, and might cyberbully Harada this week. Who could say? I say for the foreseeable future because I did mention, hey, my work schedule might be getting shuffled, which might mean that stream's going to go away. Who could say? But for right now, come hang out with us on Wednesday nights right here at twitch.tv/FerrisCindy at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Sometimes we start at 8 p.m. But I think that is going to be it for this week. I appreciate all y'all coming to hang out with us, and hope to see y'all next time. Thanks.